Hello and welcome back to the Aeon Drive Tournament. My name is Warning Track, and I'm joined this time by Markinator99. Welcome. How you feeling about this game?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm really excited to watch the match, and this one's going to be more of an exhibition, like you were saying. One of them not being a no-show, just like the last match, but it's all right. We get to watch some tactics, see what he's going to be doing to try to get ready for that round of 32 match against Yabble here. So, nothing too bad here. Just going to be watching some nice gameplay.
Yeah, give them a little practice and give us a little heads up as to what we're going to be dealing with. And oh boy, I know it's early, but Vegan Tyler moving very confidently and quickly through this sector here.
Yeah, really moving nice and smooth. Already knows. Hopefully, he already has some kind of game plan going into this about what route he wants to take. I do know earlier matches, some people were trying out different things after they got a good time.
Yeah, it makes sense. They've got 10 minutes here to experiment, but it looks like they have a pretty good idea what they want to do here. This is very impressive stuff.
Oh,
and you can see actually getting Vegan Tyler on cam, too.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, this is a really hard stage right here. This beginning is no joke. It's a bit harder than the ones we have been seeing. Very, very precise wall kicks. You can sit here and hug on a wall, and if you get good times, you want to do it as fast as possible. And sometimes the timing can be a little tricky to get all your momentum changed over.
I like that switch there is on the far wall. It forces them to sort of slow down, stop, go back, double back a little bit, add a few extra inputs. Just that little wrinkle that, again, we talked earlier about how these are handcrafted, and I think that's a really good example of where you get the benefit of handcrafted, where like something procedural or semi-procedural would not have that nice little touch that forces the runners to stop and think and plan out a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
the first jump.
Yeah, it didn't quite hang on the wall there. Let's see. Yeah, I really like coming up top. If anyone wants to be playing this game, it's gonna come out September 30th.
This level always messed me up.
Really fun. You'll see all the levels that you're seeing here. The leaderboards and a whole lot of good fun on every platform you can. September 30th.
Yeah, and a reminder of the format, 4,000 people entered qualifiers. The top 64 were chosen. It is direct elimination, so you lose and you're done.
I have no idea.
And runners have a set amount of time with unlimited resets to grind for the single best time they can for each level. And this is a 10-minute exhibition right here, but right after this, Vegan Tyler's going to play Yabble, and they're going to have 30 minutes to grind for that time. And as we saw in the previous match, the difference there was it was a shorter one, but it was just a second. So it's a very marginal thing at the high levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you're saying, the high levels, that 1 second is a huge deal.
There's some kind of issue with the audio here.
Just optimal routing, optimal plays.
There it is.
No slowdowns. Every small thing, every small action can save, milliseconds, hundreds of seconds, and then all added up together can, equal a second, equal more than that. But it really is a lot of time for speed running and 7-8 seconds. A whole second.
I think this level is my favorite.
A lot of time saved.
I mean, anyone familiar with any speedrun in other games, too, knows that people spend a year of their lives trying to shave a second off of some of these runs, and that's not really an exaggeration. You see that best clock there in the bottom. We're not updating it right now because it's an exhibition, but we're going to be updating it during the next match, and there are 2 zeros after that decimal, and that's not a joke. That's what we need, because that could easily be the difference in one of these matches today or tomorrow.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Maybe in the later matches, we might even see, hundreds of seconds, like, frames being saved by the runners.
I want to see a tie. Is that too much to ask? You think that's implausible?
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. I hope so. Vegan Tyler's looking really good here. I know we haven't seen too much, but already, again, I don't want to overuse this word, but confidence. They're not. It's not just that they're hitting these maneuvers. It's that they're trying them in the first place and nailing them. It's like, I know I can do this. I've got this down. And boy, I would say look out, Yabble. Yabble looks pretty good, too. I think this next match could really be something.
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited to see the next match. Watching the exhibition on the last one, he was looking pretty practiced as well.
Yeah.
So, do we know what stage you're going to be playing on yet?
That's a good question. We'll have to check, actually. Yeah, because we've been switching it up. And that's going to make a huge difference as this goes on, too, because the one we saw in the first match between Grandius and Madbro9, the best time was sub 7 seconds. They got to repeat the same little slice of a map over and over and over again. But if you get something bigger, a whole new skill set comes into play. More memorization, frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
Okay, looks like we just got word that the next match will be played on 1-4 versus the last match that we saw. So, gonna be switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, and if I know anything about video games, and I know a little something here and there, 1-4 I'm gonna guess a little more complicated and a little longer than 1-1. Seems like a safe bet, huh?
Yeah, I mean probably the later stage is gonna be a little bit more complicated. This is not 1-4. This is like 1-3, I believe.
I think you're right, and it's already. I mean, look already though. There's way more obstacles. You see those
Yeah.
kind of laser force fields that were not there in 1-1, I think, at all, or at least not in the bottom route that the players kept taking. Already way more complicated, but with the tools at the player's disposal, the teleportation dagger, the power sword, it's still no match. You know, if you use them well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more technical movement from these later stages. As you can see, there's a lot more narrow corridors. I think a lot more angled teleports could make a big difference. Optimal slides. You'll see really minute slides that save milliseconds on these tiny little sections. So squeezing all those in, any time save you can, is going to be a big deal, especially in these later stages because there's so many like tight corners and such.
Yeah, on one hand, those little corridors where you can clearly throw a dagger through but can't go through. On one hand, you'd say that's a tough shot, but for these players, it gets easy pretty quick. And if anything, I'd say at that point, it's actually helpful because there's only one way through that, right? They don't have choice paralysis. They don't have to wonder, is there a better way through this? That's the only way through this. So if anything, it kind of serves as, I think, a little bit of a hint about traversal.
Yeah, precisely. 100% agree there.
Yeah, Tyler's just just making mincemeat of these levels right now. Just jumping back and forth between a couple different ones, probably just get ready for whatever's coming next, and looks very relaxed, very confident, doing very, very well. I don't know if they need the practice. It seems to me like they've been grinding this game pretty hard.
Yeah, it looks like he's got everything pretty much set up. I don't know if anyone is noticing this, but this first switch after this little first section, he's got a little setup going because it's such a tight shot. He goes all the way to his wall and then turns around. Boom, right there.
Yeah. Right there, right? He kept trying to hit this one right here. Yep, there we go. Wow. It's the way they chain them together. There's actually a lot to remember. I kind of joked earlier, they're going to be more about memorization as you go on. But even like a mid-size level like this, you realize there's like 100 straight inputs within a couple seconds of each other that they need to do sometimes over the course of the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was saying earlier, all those tight movements, those itty-bitty things, you're trying to squeeze everything you can in here. And so there's just so many button presses, so many things that you have to get precisely right. And these runners are trying to be as close to the frame as possible. I mean, they really are. So you're really stretching the limits.
And the game will let you do that. It is very precise. It gives you the power, it gives you the control, very precise, good movement. And it can be jarring, as I alluded to earlier when I was talking to Unknown, about you play a game that doesn't focus on speedrunning as much, isn't built from the ground up for speedrunning as much, and maybe the input lags, but you don't really care very much. But when you get your hands on a game that's polished like this, because the inputs need to be so good, it can be a little disorienting at first to have the game respond so precisely to everything you do, and you kind of got to get used to it because the kind of games you played haven't prepared you for it.
Absolutely. And dude, Tyler, the last two maps, I mean, he blew through those things. This is incredible.
Yeah, and could he look more relaxed, by the way?
Yeah.
For the most part. He's like grinning, looking at chat, stuff like that, and he's looking very, very comfortable right now. But this isn't a competition yet. He knows it's an exhibition. Everyone has the potential to get a little tight when the pressure's on. So we'll have to see how he responds to that. He looked good so far, but an exhibition is not a match.
Precisely, yeah.
Got about 30 seconds left here. And then we're going to take a very short break, and it's going to be Yobble versus Vegan Tyler, and both of them looked very good in their warm-ups. I am not a betting man, and it's a good thing because I would not want to bet on this next match.
The stakes would have to be pretty lenient for me to want to bet on it for sure.
Careful saying stakes. Vegan Tyler would not approve.
True.
All right, we're just about done. 10 seconds here. All right, looking good. Very impressive display.
Yeah, right up the top there. All right, yeah, and there's the time going to be going out. Going to be taking a short break, just like you said. Going to get these two racers set up. We have Vegan Tyler versus Yobble. So he just saw the exhibition. Both of them not really getting their first match. I think that's pretty even. We'll see a nice, first match from both of these in the round of 32. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in just a couple minutes.